Today we are going to look at Neo Air by Metallic Gear, which is a more affordable sub-brand of Fentex, and at a $60 price tag it offers lot of features, great airflow, and we are going to see how the rest of it is. Hey guys, I am Siddharth and let's get started. The overall look of the case is pretty minimal without being boring, which is not an easy combination to find, especially in entry-level cases. The front is covered entirely with this metal grille with this interesting pattern, and you also have the dust filter built inside it. Then on the side, you have the non-removable lower section that will contain the PSU and hard drives, along with the tempered glass, which can be removed without needing any tools with the 4 thumb screws. The PCIe slots at back don't have metal dividers between them, which means that you can remove all of them and use a vertical GPU mount like my Lianli case. And while I am using Cooler Master vertical mount, Fentex also makes it, and you can use any of those here. On top, you have the power button with RGB LED around it, an LED control button to control the built-in RGB hub, a reset button, 2 USB 3.0 ports which are nice to see, and then finally the separate microphone and headphone jack in this black cutout that stands out nicely. The front can be removed easily and you can access the fans, and while it comes with 2 Skiron RGB fans on the front, it doesn't come with an exhaust fan at the rear, which shouldn't be a problem because on top you have this unique vent made by cutting into the case directly that doesn't come with any dust filters. So these vents on top and rear should allow hot air to get exhausted with just the 2 intake fans on front. But you can of course take one fan from the front and mount it at rear, or add additional fans because the fans and radiator support is also pretty great, with the front and top supporting up to 2 140mm fans or up to a 280mm radiator, and the rear supporting a single 120mm fan or radiator. We also compared it with Fentex P300 Eclipse, which is my favorite compact case, and these are priced identically at $60, so it is interesting to see what the differences are between these two, as one has Fentex branding with the Neo Air under the more affordable Metallic Gear brand. You can see that the overall design and layout of both of these cases is pretty similar. In fact, you can actually take out the front grille from the P300 and it fits perfectly on the Neo Air. But this makes everything easier for everyone, and even under the Metallic Gear sub-brand, Fentex is offering the same logic for the design, which is actually a good thing. The backside of the motherboard mount also has a large cutout, so you can mount the brackets for coolers easily. This is basically a longer P300 with a grill. The PSU clearance is 250mm, so if we had built the compact Threadripper build into this case, I think we wouldn't have faced the issues we had with our long Corsair modular PSU. The case supports up to eATX motherboards, and we actually did a complete build into this case, which you can watch by clicking on the card. And the overall experience was pretty great, with nothing getting in the way or feeling too cramped. So this is a case that is very easy to work with even for beginner PC builders. At bottom section in the front, you have support for 2 3.5-inch hard drives, and the mounting system is very easy as it doesn't require any tools. One unique thing about this system is that the connection cables are routed through the front of this case, which makes it easier to add or remove hard drives, as you can do it without needing to open the side panel. The mounting system for 3 SSDs on the backside of the motherboard is also pretty smart, as the panel on which you install the SSDs is completely removable, which makes the screwing and plugging process very easy. The case doesn't feature rubber grommets for passing the cables through, but because of the design of the case, the gap for cables stays hidden, and rubber grommets also get in the way, so I really don't mind having this design at all. The case includes the RGB controller for its fans, and you can also use it to power the case lighting strips if your motherboard doesn't have RGB connectors. And you can also connect the control for the fans to the motherboard and control the RGB with most of the RGB sync software like AuraSync in our case. The complete grille front allows very good levels of airflow, and the RGB fans also look really nice behind it. And you can of course control them by pressing the mode button on the case. We were really happy with how great our build looked, and I personally haven't seen a case that is a better overall package at this price point. But two minor complaints I have is that the white version of this case has black interiors, unlike something like a P300 which had white interiors. And this is something that we are also seeing in Phanteks' other cases. With white interiors, the case lighting really gets reflected from all surfaces and it makes everything inside the case look much brighter. And it's one of the reasons why I prefer white cases over black ones. So I think that they should consider having white interiors on their white colored cases. Talking about the color, this case of course comes in black color too, and Metallic Gear also has different versions of this case with different types of fronts, which will make a big difference in performance and aesthetics. And I think that it's very intelligent to offer multiple variations on the same basic platform for people with different tastes. The second difference I felt is that the glossy paint finish on P300 is really great and it almost feels like paint on a car, which makes it feel really premium. But on the Neo Air, we have a matte finish which doesn't feel as premium as the P300. But I am not sure if this is a cost-cutting measure or if this is an aesthetic choice they went with for some reason. So overall, at just $60 US, the Neo Air is a really great case by Metallic Gear. The case design is very logical and efficient. It offers great airflow while also managing to look sleek and modern, and in isolation, it really doesn't feel like an entry-level case. But as this is a product line offered by Phanteks, it is difficult to not compare it with what they have to offer under their regular brand name. And when you do that, you do find some elements that tell you how they were able to reach to this price point while also offering features like RGB fans and a high performance design. But I can still very strongly recommend this case as it checks all the boxes of what makes a case great. The P300 was my favorite entry-level case, but the Neo Air offers more space, better performance, and it also looks great even when the RGB on its fans is turned off. So that was it for this video. I'll have links to buy this case in the video description. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or a thumbs down if you disliked it. Subscribe to the channel with bell. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.